Hello, welcome to Vauxhall Stadium Ipswich for the 2021 running of the National Hot Rod Championship of the World. This is the first running of this event, and we have a grid of 27 National Hot Rods on circuit. There may be one or two missing, I'm not sure. We've got 27 on the published grid that was released earlier on this afternoon following the time trials where Ted McGrath got the quickest lap time of a 13.712. The cars are going to start making their way into their grid positions in the very near future. In fact, there may already be a couple of them already round, but we'll check on that, which appears to be the case. So pole position is 852 Ted McGrath. Alongside him is 143 Cameron Willesey. We've got 9109 McFerrin in inside row 2. Outside row 2 is H23 Kevin van der Bosch. We've got 55 Brad Thomas and H14 Steph Bovey rounding out the first group of cars. Group number 2 is going to be 447 Adam Turner at the front of the group. Alongside him, when we get the all clear from race control, is going to be H57 Shane Wilms, who is not quite there yet, so we'll just wait for him to come round, and that will start off the second group of cars, starting groups of 6 today, just to alleviate some of that first corner carnage, should it arise. Next up on inside row number 5, we've got 114 Danny Ross. And he's outside him 145 Scott Kinton. Inside row number 6 is 957 Aaron McGrath. Alongside him is number 36 Roy Anderson. I think Roy, our only real life National Road driver here today. Inside row 7 is 79 Owen Potter. Outside row 7 is 83 Ben Singleton. On the inside of row 8 is 777 Harry Graham. And then outside of him is South Africa 133 of Dennis Contenay, the first of the South African drivers on the grid. Just to turn them on the grid today, and we'll hopefully get that one sorted out and into position. It's like getting a flock of sheep down there. Next up, we've got a couple of rows that are blank for obvious, by the reason we haven't got enough qualifiers. So we're going to start there with row number 10. H524 Yellow Winkle should be there, but he doesn't appear to be yet. So 800 Ben Chambers will start on the outside of that row. And then behind them on row 11, it should be 422 Connor Gibson Leach and SA91 of Martin Menjins. But everyone seems to have got very confused on what grid position is what grid position at this point. So we'll try and get them sorted out as soon as we can. And it looks like Yellow's managed to find his grid slot after, well, he's doing a bit of a 3-point turn, but I think he's just about got there now. Yep, so those two are right. 422 Connor Gibson Leach has found his position inside row 11, just waiting for SA91 Martin Menjins to form up. So look at row number 12 over here then. So we've got 593 Joe Rollings and H number 20 of Milan Summons. Then we've got row 13, which is going to be 409 Chris Wilkes and 572 of Calvin Boyd. And then the back of the grid alone on row 14 is 144 Lewis Willesey. So looking like a very busy grid. 27 cars as previously mentioned, and we're in for what is going to be an absolutely sensational race, I hope, and it should be an interesting one, particularly with a blue grader on the pole position slot. So it's not just me in the box today. Thank God for all of you listening. I have got Aaron McGrath with me as well this afternoon. So good afternoon, Aaron.
Hello.
So it's going to be what is set to be a very good day of racing. The pace car pulls in position. This will be a rolling start ahead of 70 racing laps for the National Hot Rod Championship of the World. We'll do our best to keep track of who's where and how many laps we've done. Not the easiest thing to do sometimes, but looking like we've still got a few cars sorting themselves out over on the third bend there, so I don't know what's quite going on down there.
It appears someone's got lost going to their grid position.
I think it may be Martin Menjins that's got lost, so 144 Lewis Willesey now deciding to give an assistance and push him to his grid position, and he still can't find it, which is not a particularly good start.
Maybe forgot the sat nav.
Yeah, wrong postcode for the track possibly.
Yeah. So
it looks like the officials have just decided that's what we're going to start them as by the looks of it. So
Yep.
It's quite simple. If you don't need a grid position, you're not going to start in it. So that seems to be the theory that's been taken on this one. So just awaiting the all clear. So just waiting for the pace car to pull away. It's been a fairly long hold, so okay, now the flag goes up, and here we go, we're rolling. This is it, the National Hot Rod World Final It's going to be 70 racing laps. So down the far side then, who's it going to be this year then? No defending champions, this is the first time we've run the meeting. So here they go, pace car pulls up on turn number 3. Rose on a rise in the pack, 27 cars, 70 laps. This is the 2021 National Road Championship of the World, presented by YGRL. Green flag goes down, away they go. And Cameron Wilson makes a jump around the outside and shape was course 852 10 towards the inside, 4 wide lead, 9.9 McFerrin down the inside of all of them and takes the lead on the far side. Van der Bosch trying to hold it around the outside, McGrath in there as well in third. We've got Brad Thomas giving a bit of pushing, shoving, 4th place. Cameron Willissy's gone from 2nd to 5th in the first lap. Ted McGrath now giving the old heave-ho by a combination of Willissy and Thomas on the far side. Steph Bogey is there as well, H14, did very well in one meeting at Wimbledon earlier in the year as they go down the home straight, 9-0 from H showing through as the top 2 as they come round to complete another lap. 852 McGrath has a spin down there on turn number 2 briefly there, but he's managed to regain control as they make their way round to the 3rd and 4th bend, and well, it's been an interesting start this one, hasn't it, Aaron?
Oh, it really has. It's people everywhere, cars swapping positions, people spinning like Ted McGrath there. Unlucky bit of contact with him and another driver, but just the way it is.
So McFerrin still continues to lead then from Van der Bosch in 2nd place. Potter has now got Aaron McGrady's sights along with Ben Chambers behind them as Wayne Carr number 800 as they make their way down. They show spinner on turn 4. I think there's SA1, then it might be SA91. Martin Mengens in problems. In fact, he doesn't pull off, so he's possibly going to try and rejoin off the shale, but we'll find out in due course.
It looks like he has right in front of a good battle there between I think 83 and Lewis Willissy.
Yes, certainly causing a few problems. I think it was actually Connor Gibson, Leach and Steph Bogey involved there. A bit of pushing there. Martin didn't seem to give the leaders a huge amount of room down the inside, but nonetheless they continue racing. And in fact, I stand corrected, that may have actually been Joe Rollins in 5.93. A couple of cars do look quite similar from a distance. Your leader's agreed to turn 1 lane, 9-minute third is still your race leader. So on that far side then, the top 2 are broken clear by looks of things at the moment. Ryan is going to lap, I think that's possibly SA133 Days Constable, but that may actually be an on-track position. In fact, it is an on-track position, those 2 I'm told. So it's between those 2, I think that's in the lower reaches of the top 15 cars. Leaders going to back up the traffic there, we'll see how well they deal with them, and it's looking like it's going to be a fight to the finish between McFerrin, Van der Bosch and Willissy, if he can so catch.
Back markers may play a big part in this world final. Already, I think only a lap 14, they're already catching back markers, so it's going to be a real tough race for the leaders, trying to hold track position and try to work their way through the grid.
Yes, the previous 2 back markers they passed there were fairly courteous as they come around to lap 13. McFerrin gets down the inside the 83 car down on turn 3 there. Van der Bosch will follow likewise, basically stuck on the rear bumper of the turn 6. Here comes Willissy down the inside as well. He's already got his own brother in this race, so the rest of the cars being lapped are maybe not quite significant as they go round the raceway now. It looks like a good fight still between Joe Rollins and Connor Gibson Leach developing. And Calvin Boy in there is weighing 572, a relative newcomer to hot rods this year is Calvin, so that probably goes for all 3 of those drivers, to be fair. They're all fairly newcomers to the hot rod scene as they make their way round turns 1 and 2. They've got the lead battle catching them, and this could be interesting for them if they catch up. As we know, Aaron, it's one thing to pass back markers, but battling back markers is a very different story.
Oh, it is, trying to work your way through them, especially when they're having their own battles for position. It's very, very tough.
On the far side go that battle of 3 cars. They're actually catching the battle between Pontonet and that's Roy Anderson as well, car number 36 in the pickup sponsored car. As the leaders now on the back of this train now, and this could be interesting between them. You know, 6 cars all trying to fight for the same piece of tarmac. It's 2 different battles. Calvin Boyd has decided to back off his little battle on the back of Joe Rollins and go around the outside line, and he's let the top 3 go through now, slotting behind Cameron Willissy and try and catch back up to that battle he was with a few laps ago.
Looks like we already have 1 or 2 people pulled onto the infield.
Yes, he looks like possibly lost 409 Chris Wilkes down there. He's pulled off. So one of our Inca-Race registered drivers this year. So he's not done particularly well in this race. He did start as one of the non-qualifiers at the back of the grid. He started on inside row 13 in position number 25. So he didn't have the best of qualifying stages. And oh dear, Leo to go on the outside right marker. That could have ended badly, couldn't it?
Oh, that could have been put in the wall or anything. Especially when the leaders are just focusing on themselves. Oh, up the curve as well.
So Dennis really possibly gave the lead bit in front there. Kim van der Bosch to back right out of that one, and McFerrin, because of that, has now managed to bridge a gap slightly to the Dutchman behind him. Willissi is still there in third. Rollins is a lap down, so fourth place. I think he's Brad Thomas Icano 55.
I think so, yeah. I think the rest are all back markers there, so it just shows the pace these front leaders are at, lapping already, like.
It's been a very, very fast-paced race. The field have really got spread out quite nicely around this Ipswich Vauxhall Stadium tonight. Most of the track is taken up by cars, apart from a small gap we've just seen go past the camera as Ailinda Ben Chambers is about the only car with some clear track in front of him in this race at the moment. Leaders reach that H524 Yellow Winkle now as they go into turn number 3.
It looks like they're now catching 79 of Owen Potter in that blue and purple Tigra.
Yep, and as we know, Potter is more of a circuit racer these days, with most of his success coming in stuff like touring cars and Formula Fords. So I believe he also won a championship in some Sports 2000 prototypes a couple of days ago as well, as they go down his inside and lap the 79 car. 143 Colin Willissi is still chasing the top two as they come down the straight. And look at this now, Van der Bosch is really challenging on the back of McFerrin at this point.
He is, he's after closing up that gap the last couple of laps, possibly tyres starting to come on now towards the middle half of the race.
So we wonder if they can both hold on there. The quick lap 777 Harry Graham in the Barbie-mobile by the looks of it there. Not sure what the design briefing was on that car, but clearly was just paint it any colour you want, I think. And in fact, he leaned to the leader of the curve a little bit. That was a bit cheeky.
That was, you could get black crosses or anything for that kind of driving.
And now the leaders have got a side-by-side battle in front of them for good measure. So are they going to get through? It depends if the two back markers are willing to move aside, which they both seem to have done so quite wisely. And McGrath really holding, I think that was Bill and Summons out to try there on turns 1 and 2. That was one way to defend your position, and in doing so, that's now lets Harry Graham through in counter. I believe that was for position that manoeuvre as well.
Yeah, I think it was, especially the way he hung him out to dry in the corner. It was a good move, to be fair.
So it looks like they've now got Potter and Rollins catching them. The lead is into turn 1 again. Willissi's now closed up to them, so now got a 3-car battle for the lead. Then you've got a really long gap back, nearly half a lap back to Brad Thomas in car 55. And 5th place at the moment is going to be 447 Adam Turner. So Adam Turner is currently sat in 5th place. I believe he was the Speedwith Points champion this year, and he's chasing down Brad Thomas, who was one of the other Speedwith contingents. In fact, I think Brad Thomas was leading the Speedwith Points for one round after he did a very good display here at Ipswich back in March, and hopefully he can get some ground and try and catch these in the closing laps. We'll find out how many laps are left to go in the very near future, I'm sure, but through they come again then. It's McFerrin still from Van den Bosch, the 1-2.
38 laps gone out of this race, so it's going to be about the halfway stage, roughly.
Yep, so the Union Jack is going to be been thrown very shortly. It's been a 70 lapper. This is the longest race of the year for these national hot rods. And indeed the longest race at YGL as a whole this year, because none of the stock car formulas do anything like this amount of laps in any of their races. Good battle between Lewis Willissi, Yellow Winkle, got Calvin Boyd and Roy Anderson in there as well. 4 drivers who on their day can be quite decent. And Calvin Boyd thought was going for smooth speedway there. Roy Anderson's now coming around the outside. And got spit out. Round goes John Rollins. He's taken 114 Danny Ross with him. So
very careful rejoin in there.
Sorry. What was it?
They had to be very old. They touched on the rejoin there themselves. Oh, mechanical problem that looks like for oh, he's going again.
Yes, he just seemed to stop down the inside line. That was very lucky not to get clobbered, as we did see back at a different read back in February. Of course, a car ran out of fuel on the back straight arena. It's absolutely nailed flat out. Interesting why one of the cars in this race, but that's on the social media today. Now, I don't know where he's going, but he's really got lost at this point.
Yeah, it looks like he maybe lost his bearings on that spin.
So he's looks like he's retired from the infield. The infield saying that's now 3 cars gone. We've lost one of the South African cars as well in the meantime. And may have been 133 possibly. Dennis Conte here is retired to the left in the centre.
It does look like it.
Yep, so we've now lost 3 cars in this race. 4-9 Chris Wilson early on, and now we've lost H14 Steph Bovey. So it's really not going particularly well for our overseas drivers in this one. There's 2 of them are out of the race.
Whoa, and a spin there for a 36 of Roy Anderson into the infield. Very lucky not to collect any of the marshals standing there.
Yes, he seems to have been able to rejoin the fray now, and will hopefully get going again. He may have lost a lap in doing so, but I think he's still in the race as H94 Yellow Winkle decides to go really wide on turn 20. That's an interesting line to take around Ipswich.
There's definitely a new approach to that corner.
As they head down the home straight again, then McFerrin, easy leader. Look at Van der Bosch and Willissi, they're all there now. The top 3 are Linus Stern. This is very, very good stuff from the National Hot Rods. They're coming to that Roy Anderson, they're getting car number 36. Down the home straight again, then we've got Lewis Willissi as well at the end of the straight, which we'll be coming to that very shortly. Your 4th and 5th place battle, I think, is a bit further behind them at this point. I'm not quite sure where they are. I've not seen them for a while, and in fact, they've swapped places, haven't they, Aaron? They've swapped places.
They have, yeah. It looks like a back marker coming into play there as well. He's holding a line.
Yep, so turning the long way around the outside of one of the back markers there, 957 Algarra's Owen Potter decides to try the yellow winkle line, just not quite as extreme. He's going to try and get the cut back on the inside. There's Shane Luns there. Shane Luns comes across the nose and says, no, you don't. And, well, happily drives into the sunset at this point. So your leader is coming down past the pit gate now. So McFerrin is the leader, coming to that Lewis Willissi in car 144. I say now McFerrin is leading the National Points Series in the National Hot Rods so far this season. A very good run this year. He's only missed 1 meeting so far, and that was, I think, a Nuts Corner meeting due to a ban. Van der Bosch likewise only missed 1 meeting as well. He missed the Knock Hill outing again because of a ban. Cameron Willissi has missed a few more meetings than them too, so he's a bit on the back foot of the national points standings, but he's not too far adrift of being in the top 5 places in there. As they make their way down the far side, and well, things have started to settle down a bit more now, haven't they?
They have, yeah. Possibly tires on their prime, and them all just being very, very close. They were very close in qualifying. The times between the top 3 or 4 within tenths of a second of each other. It's really, really close. It's great to see. Great to see a good group battle at the front.
Yes, the top 3 in qualifying, in the time trials I should say, all of them set 13.7, so it was just the last couple of digits that made the difference, and well, Van der Bosch was not far off with a 13.80, got another car was crossing a spin down there on turn 4, I'm not sure if that was the case.
I think it was.
Yeah, I just looked down at the paperwork briefly and looked at a sort of slow-moving car, so that's confirmed that for me. Joe Rollings down the inside of Marigo and gives him a whole heap of contact in the driver's door. That was somewhat cheeky for Hot Rods.
Oh, that was more of a 1300 stock car move, that was.
Yeah, it really went in quite high. But then now Calvin Boyd has got H524 Yellow Winkle weaving all over the back of him. They've got 447 turn to lap them now. He's running 4th place. And now Van der Bosch trying to go on the outside for the race lead at turns 1 and 2. Side by side on the far side. Van der Bosch could leave himself open here as Willissi is there as well. 43, he's looking down the inside. Can he get the move on the inside? It's side by side between the top 2 again. This is incredible stuff on the front.
It's a really good battle. Has Van den Bosch left the door open for Willissi, though? That's the question.
He certainly looks like he made him. Willissi is pushing his nose down the inside, doing everything he knows to get level with the Vauxhall Tigre here. And he goes now onto the inside, so he's now Peugeot 1-2 at the front. So who says that French cars are unreliable? Well, everybody, apart from in National Hot Rods, it turns out.
That's the reason they're powered by a Vauxhall, Ben.
Well, yes, quite the same Ludlow engines that the Vauxhall Tigres use, so fair enough as they now lap another Vauxhall Tigre, another 2 Vauxhall Tigres rather, as McGrath and Potter are still going to be lapped here as the leaders come through down towards turn 1 once again. Connor Gibson Leach is, I think, a lap down, but he is on the tail end of this lead battle now. So we'll just try and see what's going to happen in these last few laps of racing. The cars have really not had too many problems in this one, all things because it's been a fairly clean race. This one for the National Roads, which much better than most of the season has been. I think I see the laps on that one.
I think it's about lap 54, 55.
Okay, so about 2/3 race distance then, I think, for this one for the National Hot Rods. So they've really got through these laps very quickly, it has to be said. Like I say, these cars don't hang around, we're saying roughly around 13 or 14 second lap times in practice. That may be reduced slightly for the race with higher fuel loads in the cars. And obviously they've got to deal with back market traffic, which will be slowing them down. Turner is 4th by looks of it still. Thomas is 5th. 6th place, I'm led to believe, is H57 Shane Wilms at this point in time. But I can't be pinch on that, so Connor Gibson Leach goes for a gap that was just about there. There was just enough room for Vox Ortega, I think. But other than that, we seem to be fairly tame at the moment, as Martin mentioned, lets 145 Scott Kinton throw on the inside. They now got the top two right behind them here. And Nyman McFerrin laps Martin Menjins in SA91. And he's still got, oh, well, he's gone sideways. That was a bit of a close call for home straight. And
Van den Bosch is right on Willesey again, so maybe taking a few laps to put the head in the right place and trying to make a move.
Yeah, but now Scott Kinton holding the inside line and making Lee go a long way around the outside. I don't think McFerrin's particularly keen to do so, as he knows the challenge he's got behind him, and well, that's closed the lead battle right up again, hasn't it?
Yes, proves that back markers will always play a big part. All you have to do is hold the line.
Yeah, and this is exactly what's happening here. So it's McFerrin, Willesey, Van den Bosch, the top three still, round turn 4. 4th place is still Adam Turing, 447. 5th is 55, Brad Thomas. That's the top 5. Turner is close than he has been for all race, but he's not really striking distance anymore. Thomas is still there in 5th. H7 Shane Wilms is there as well, as the cherry flag may have just gone down, I'm not sure. No, I think we've still got a couple more laps to run. As spinner home straight, 83 has gone to the centre.
And that's
yep. Time. So the race winner was indeed Nyman McFerrin, who was your race winner for the National Roads. He is your new world champion for 2021. 2nd place was 143 Calvin Willesey, and 3rd was H293 Kevin Van den Bosch, who took the final podium position in that one. Full results to be confirmed by race control, of course, but on behalf of us all, that's our red flag police society, please, as a red flag on the circuit. So there you go, interesting race for the National Rods, and well, it can't be said anything there. McFerrin took the lead early on, and that was all it rode, and that was the world final basically decided on the very early stages of the race. Down here on my sheet, so your race winner was Nyman McFerrin. 2nd, 143 Calvin Willesey, and 3rd, H293 Kevin Van den Bosch. 4th was 447 Adam Turner, and 5th was 55 Brad Thomas. 6th, H57 Shane Wilms. 7th, 145 Scott Kinton. 8th, 800 Ben Chambers. 9th, H20 Milan Summons. 10th was 593 Joe Rolling. So once again, just the numbers for you. 1st, 910. 2nd, 143. 3rd, H293. 4th, 447. 5th, 55. 6th, H57. 7th, 145. 8th, 800. 9th, H20. And 10th was 593. So that's the top 10 confirmed by race control. Obviously, all things considered, Aaron, I think we can say that was one of the cleaner races of the year for the National Hot Rods here at YGRL.
It definitely was. It was a great battle out the front, and there's nice to see packs of cars. Like no one in kind of in no man's land. They were all in a good battle all through the field. Everyone groups of times. It's really nice to see for once, and nice clean race. No controversial crashes or incidents. So very good to see that.
Yeah, I think that might be the first ever National Hot Rod World Final in R-Factor I've seen in the time I've been racing R-Factor that hasn't been a controversial end, because, you know, more often than not, Aaron, you know this, that when National Hot Rods get competitive, the chances are somebody's going to get spat out into the wall, and then all hell breaks loose and everything goes to pot.
Yeah, usually someone spits the dummy out, ties out the pram, and then everything goes up then.
Indeed, but like you say, a great advertisement for Hot Rod Racing there. A little bit of argy-bargy in the midfield, but that is not unusual for a National Hot Rod World Final. As real life, you do see a lot of incidents, should we say, in National Hot Rod World Finals, as was proved a few years ago with the Mazda RX-8 on the far side of the track getting absolutely annihilated in the first lap pile-up, as the cars behind just had nowhere to go and just piled straight to the back of it. But other than that, that was the National Hot Rod World Final 2021. And well, on behalf of all of us here at YGR, thank you very much, as always, for your support. And well, I think that basically wraps up what we have for the National Operas. They'll be going back, of course, in 7 days' time at Skegness Raceway on the East Coast for what is going to be a national points meeting. And if you're watching this as when the video is out on Friday night, the Formula 2 stock cars will be back in action at Crimmin Raceway in Scotland for a shootout round as well. So plenty of action still to come this season, and the season will run all the way through to December. But on behalf of us here at YGRL, and I think, Aaron, if there's anything else you want to say it now. Otherwise, we're not gonna have a chance.
Just well done to everyone that raced. It was a good, clean race, and well done to all the marshals. Big help to them. Without them, we wouldn't be racing. So well done. Even lap scores. I know there's a few people up there. Don't want to pick out names, but they know who they are, and they're really well out for the year to get this far. And it's been a good season so far. Hopefully, it continues.
Yep, indeed. And with that, on behalf of us here at YGR, thank you very much once again for your support, and we'll see you again in the very near future. Goodbye.